everybody. Today we are talking all about the Squiddy-Al. Turn a light on in here for you. So we have the Squiddy-Al and kind of my updated thoughts on it. As you can probably guess from the title, the Squiddy-Al has basically become my public flipper. I think that Squiddy-Al makes for a really nice public flipper, especially mine being orange. I mean, look at that guy. It's not often that I will show people a balisong and their reaction is joy. But when I show people Al, they always smile and laugh because he's adorable. And I think he is wonderful. Now, all that's good, but that's not why it's my new public flipper, because, you know, I could get a lot of the same benefits from the Frank P. But the Squiddy-Al being made of fully aluminum means that I can get a really nice weight and heft in the hands, because it is a metal balisong, and it feels like a nice metal balisong. Unlike even balisongs like the Frank P, which feel really good, but they're still plastic, so they're much lighter. And the Squiddy-Al has that nice weight to it that you expect from a trainer. But on top of that, it has a really nice balance. The eye weights, despite being very small, actually do a substantial amount in terms of changing the balance. Without them, you've got a nice handle bias, which I don't care for. But with them in, it's really nice and neutral. Potentially a tad blade bias. And I think that that is really nice that you have that option. So, essentially, it flips really well. You're able to make it fit your preferences to some extent. And it looks adorable. You know, people, even non-flippers, like the design. They think it's funny. And mine is bright orange. Therefore, it is a great candidate for a public flipper. I think one of the best public flippers potentially ever made. When you consider how it looks versus how well it flips. Because, you know, a lot of balisongs that are public flippers will look non-threatening, so they have that part down, but they don't always flip as well. But the Squiddy-Al is both. It doesn't look intimidating, it doesn't look like a weapon, and it flips really well. So, do I recommend the Squiddy-Al? Well, hold on. So, now this is of course a special version, so I'm sure this was a little more expensive than the base Squiddy-Al. But retailing at around the $100 price mark is, I think, kind of a hard ask. Yeah, it is a very good balisong, but for $100, do I think it's worth $100? For 6061 aluminum? Personally, probably not. But I still think that there are some cases in which it is. Because on one hand, I do really enjoy flipping this. I think it's a great flipping experience, and I just flip it all the time for fun. Because it's a fun flipper. But also, if you are someone who's going to be out in public a lot, you know, flipping, maybe you work at a convenience store or something like that, then it's really not that bad of a purchase. Because if you know that you're going to be around a lot of non-flippers, but you still want to have something to flip, this is probably your best option. And so for $100, I do think that that is a fair price to fill that role. But if you're someone who never flips out in public, so that part of it doesn't matter, then I think it really comes down to how much you like the design. Because obviously I can't speak for how much you personally would like the flipping. So if you really like the design, then yeah, I think it's probably worth it. But if you think it's just okay and your only reason to get it would be to have a public flipper, but you're not going to use it that much, I think that there's better flipping performances to be had. But I do still think it is a very good balisong. I just think that it's a little pricey, which tends to be the case with things from Squid for a number of reasons that I've talked about before, but you know, I could always talk about again if people were interested. Yeah, I do think it's a good balisong though. I would be very interested, I think, in seeing another company like Nabali's, LDY maybe, produce something similar, where it's kind of the same concept of, oh, super friendly looking, cheaper material, so probably like aluminum, maybe stainless steel type thing, but have one of them produce it just because they're able to produce things at a cheaper price point. That, I think, could be a phenomenal balisong. So I think that's really the thing keeping the Squiddy-Al from being a phenomenal balisong, is that it's just kind of pricey. It's a great balisong, but it's pricey. And that's what I ultimately feel like is holding it back. Because honestly, other than that, I don't really have any complaints. The only things is, I'm a big kind of textures person, especially with my hands, sensitive skin. So a lot of times transition areas on balisongs, like when you're going from flat to this curve, this little kind of cusp here, a lot of times those will really irritate my hands. And this is no exception. If I do fans, these corners do not feel good as they rotate in my palm. But other than that, that is literally my only complaint. The grip is good. Everything else is good. I don't have any complaints. Obviously, the durability is not great with it being 60-61. So yeah, it's a great public flipper, but flip it over concrete, not a great idea. But I still think that it is a great balisong, and if you really like the design, or you really like to flip in public, I honestly think it is probably worth picking up if you have the extra cash. I think it's a fun little guy. I don't regret buying it, so, you know, for what it's worth, that says something. Definitely see if you can buy them on sale, though. I think that would be the way to go. Secondhand, calamari clearance, definitely the way. But that's kind of all that I had to say for my updated Squiddy-Al thoughts. Will be an update video on the Sultan and the Sirius at some point. Yeah, that's all I'll say. There will be an update video at some point. If you guys could leave a comment if you enjoyed or you've got video suggestions, I'm always reading those comments. I love seeing the things you guys put, because you guys have been incredible. Recently, yesterday, I just posted a new video on my second channel reviewing the Glider Bermuda. I would love it if you guys go check that out. But other than that, that is all that I have for you guys today. Hope you've all had a wonderful day, and until next time, keep flipping.